A prophecy against Ammon, chapter 25. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, send your face against the Ammonites, and the prophecy against them. Say to them, hear the word of the sovereign Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says, because you say, aha, over my sanctuary when it was desecrated, and over the land of Ireland when it was laid waste, and over the people of Judah when they went into exile. Therefore I am going to give you to the people of the east as a possession. They will set up their camps and pitch their tents among you. They will eat your fruit and drink your milk. I will turn Rabbah into a pasture for camels and Ammon into a resting place for sheep. Then you will know that I am the Lord, for this is what the sovereign Lord says. Because you have clapped your hand and stamped your feet, rejoicing with all the malice of your heart against the land of Israel. Therefore I will stretch all my hand against you and give you as plunder to the nations. I will wipe you out from among the nations and exterminate you from the countries. I will destroy you, and you will know that I am the Lord. A prophecy against Moab. This is what the sovereign Lord says, because Moab and said, look, Judah has become like an older nation. Therefore I will expose the plank of Moab, beginning at its frontiers towns, Beth Yeshimoth, Baal-mon, and Kiriathaim. The glory of their land I will give Moab among with the Ammonites to the people of the east as a possession, so that the Ammonites will be remembered among the nations, and I will inflict punishment on Moab. Then they will know that I am the Lord. A prophecy against Edom. This is what the sovereign Lord says, because Edom took revenge on Judah and became very guilty by doing so. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says: I will stretch out my hand against Edom and kill both man and beast. I will lay it waste, and from Teman to Dan they will fall by the sword. I will revenge on Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they will deal with Edom in accordance with my anger and my wrath. They will know my vengeance, declares the sovereign Lord. A prophecy against Philistia. This is what the sovereign Lord says, because the Philistines acted in vengeance and took revenge with malice in their hearts, and with ancient hostility sought to destroy Judah. Therefore this is what the sovereign Lord says: I am about to stretch out my hand against the Philistines, and I will wipe out the Canaanites and destroy those remaining again on the coast. I will carry out a great vengeance on them and punish them in my wrath. Then they will know that I am the Lord when I take vengeance on them. A prophecy against Tyre, chapter 26. In the 11th month of the 12th year, on the day of the month, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, because Tyre has said to Jerusalem, ah, the gate of the nation is broken, and its doors have swung open to me. Now the city lies in ruins, I'll prosper. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says: I am against you, Tyre, and I will bring many nations against you. Like the sea casting up its waves, they will destroy the walls of Tyre and pull down her towns. I'll scrape away her rubbles and make her a bare rock. Out in the sea, she will become a place to spread a fisher net, for I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. She will become plunder for the nations, and her settlements on the mainland will be ravaged by the sword. Then they will know that I am the Lord. For this is what the sovereign Lord says: from the north I am going to bring against Tyre Nebuchadnezzar, a king of Babylon, king of kings, with horses and chariots, with horsemen and a great army. He will ravage your settlement on the mainland with a sword. He will set up siege works against you, build a lamp up to your walls, and raise his shield against you. He will direct the blows of his battering rams against your walls and demolish your towers with his weapons. His horses will be so many that they will cover you with dust. You walls will tremble at the noise of the warehouses, wagons, and chariots when he enters your gates as men. Enter a city whose walls have been broken through. The hooves of his horses will trample all your streets. He will kill your people with the sword. And your strong pillars will fall to the ground. They will plunder your wealth and look to your merchandise. They will break down your walls and demolish your fine houses and throw your stones, timber, and lovers into the sea. I'll put an end to your noise songs, and the music of your harps will be heard no more. I'll make you a bare rock, and you will become a place to spread fishnet. You will never be rebuilt. For I, the Lord, have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to the till. Will not coastlands tremble at the sound of your fall, when the wounded groan and the slaughter takes place in you? Then all the princes of the coast will step down from their throne and lay aside their robes and take off their embroidered garments. Crosses with terror, they will sit on the ground, trembling every moment appeared you and you. Then they will take up a lament concerning you and say to you, how you are destroyed, the city of renown, peopled by men of the sea. You are a power on the seas, you and your citizens. You put your terror on all who lived there. Now the coastlands tremble on the day of your fall. The island in the sea are terrified and your collapse. This is what the sovereign Lord says: when I make you a desolate city, like cities no longer inhabited, and when I bring the ocean's depths over you and its best waters cover you, then I bring you down with those who go down to the pit. To the people of long ago, I'll make you dwell in the earth below, as in ancient ruins, with those who go down to the pit. And you will not return or take your place in the land of the living. I'll bring you to a harbor, and you will be no more. You will be sought upon. You will never again be found, to declare the sovereign Lord. Lament over Tyr, chapter 27. The word of the Lord came to me, son of man, take of a lament concerning Tyr. Say to the Tyr, situated at the gateway to the sea, merchant of peoples on many coasts, this is what the sovereign Lord says. You say, Tyr, I am perfect in beauty. Your domain was on the high seas. Your builders brought your beauty to perfection. They made all your timbers of juniper from Senir. They took a cedar from Lebanon to make a mast for you. Of oaks from Bashan they made your oars. Of cypress wood from the coasts of Cyprus they made your decks adorned with ivory. Pine embroidered linen from Egypt was your sail and served as your banner. To make mast timbers of your juniper from Senir, they took a cedar from Lebanon to make a mast for you. Of oaks from Bashan, they made all your timber of juniper from Senir. They took a cedar from Lebanon to make a mast for you. Of oaks from Bashan they made your oars. Of cypress wood from the coast of Cyprus. They made your decks adorned with ivory. Fine embroidered line from Egypt was your sail and served as your banner. Your awning were of blue and purple from the coast of Elisha. Men of Sidon and Abad were your oarsmen. You skilled men, the till were aboard as your sailors. A veteran craftsman of Byblos were on board as if rights to cook your steam. All the ships of the sea and their sailors came alongside to trade for your waters. Men of Persia, Lydda, and Put served as soldiers in your army. They hung their shields and helmets on your walls. Brings your splendor. Men of Arvad and Helek guarded your walls on every side. Men of Gamad were in your stores. They hung their shields and sound your walls, and they brought your beauty to perfection. Tasha did business with your beauty, with your, because of your great wealth of goods. They exchanged silver, iron, tin, and lead for your merchandise. Greece, Dubai, and Mossack did business with you. They traded human beings and article bronze for your waves. Men of West, Torgaman exchange chariot, horses, caravati, horses, adornments for your merchandise. The men of Rhodes traded with you, and many coastlands were your customs. They paid you with ivory, tucks, and ivory. Aram did business with you because of your many products. They exchanged turquoise, purple fabric, embroidered work, fine line, and coral and rubies for your merchandise. Judah and Israel traded with you. They exchanged with wheat from minis and confections, honey, olive oil, and balm for your wares. Damascus did business with your business because of your many produces and great wealth of goods. They offered wine from Helbon, wool from Zara, and caskets of wine from Izar in exchange for your wares, loft, iron, cassia, and calamus. They then traded in cedar blanket with you. Arabia and all the princes of Kedar were your customers. They all business with you in lambs, and goats. The merchandise of Sheba and Laman traded with you for your merchandise. They exchanged the finest of all kinds of spices and precious stones and gold. Heras, Kenas, and Eden, and the merchant of Seba, Asar, and Kilmad traded with you. In your marketplace they traded with you. Beautiful garment, blue fabric, embroidered work, and multi-cloth rugs with coast twist and tightly knotted. The ship of Tarsia served as a carrier for your waves. You are filled with heavy cargo as you sail the sea. Your oarsman takes you out to the high seas, but the east wind will break you to pieces far out at sea. Your wealth, merchandise, and waves, your marine, sailor, and shipwright, your merchandise, and all your souls, and everyone else on board will sink into the heart of the sea on the day of your ship. The shore lands will quake when your sailor cry out. All who handle the oars will abandon their ships. The mariners and all the sailors will stand on the shore. They will raise the voice and cry bitterly over you. They will sprinkle dust on the heads and roll in ashes. They will shave their heads because of you and will put on sackcloth. they will weep over you with anguish of soul and with bitter mourning. As they war and mourn over you, they will take up lament concerning you. Who was ever silenced like theater surrounded by the sea? When your merchandise went out on the seas, you satisfied many nations with your great wealth and your words. You enriched the kings of the sea. Now you are shattered by the sea. In the depths of the waters, you, wares, and all your company have gone down with you. All who live in the coastland and are appalled to you. Their kings shudder with horror, and their faces are distorted with horror. The merchandise among the nations scattered, and you have come to a horrible end, and will be no more. A prophecy of the king of Tyre, chapter 28. The word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, say to the ruler of Tyre, this is what the sovereign Lord says. In the pride of your heart, you say, I am a God. I sit on the throne of a God in the heart of the seas. But you are mere mortal and not God. Though you think you are as wise as good, are you wiser than Daniel? Is no secret hidden from you. By your wisdom and understanding you have gained wealth for yourself, and amassed gold and silver in your treasury. By your great skill in trading you have increased your wealth, and because of your wealth your heart has grown proud. Therefore this is what the sovereign Lord says, because you think you are wise as a God. I am going to bring foreigners against you, the most ruthless of nations. They will draw their sword against you, your beauty and wisdom, and pierce your shining splendor. They will bring you down to the pit, and you will die a violent death in the heart of the seas. Will you then say, I am a God, in the presence of those who kill you? You will be put a mortal, not a God, in the hands of those who slay you. You will die the death of the uncircumcised at the hands of foreigners. I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. The word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, take a lament concerning the king of Tyre, and say to him, this is what the sovereign Lord says. You are the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You are in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you. Carnelian, chrysolite, and emerald, topaz, onyx, and jasper, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and beryl. Your setting and mountings were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. You were anointed as a guardian cherub. So I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the purely stones. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. Though you widespread tread, you were filled with violence, and you shined. So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God, and I spared you, guardian cherub. Among the purely stones, your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. So I threw you to the earth. I made a spectacle of you before kings. By your many sins and dishonest trade, you have discredited your sanctuaries. So I made a fire come out from you, and it consumed you. And I reduced you to ashes on the ground in the sight of all who were watching. All the nations who knew you are appalled and knew. You have come to a horror and will be no more. A prophecy against Sidon. The word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, send your faces against Sidon. proposed against her, and saying, This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against you, Sidon, and among you I will display my glory. You will know that I am the Lord when I inflict punishment on you, and within you am proved to be holy. I will send a plague upon you, and make blood flow in your street. The slain will pour with you with the sword against you on every side. Then you will know that I am the Lord. No longer will the people of Israel have malicious neighbors who are painful prayers and sharp thrown. Then they will know that I am the sovereign Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says when I gather the people of Israel from the nations where they have been scattered. I will prove holy through them in the sight of the nations. Then they will live in their own land, which I gave to my servant Jacob. They will live there in safety and will build houses and plant vineyards. They will live in safety when I inflict punishment on all their neighbors who maligned them. Then they will know that I am the Lord their God. A prophecy against Egypt, judgment on Pharaoh. Chapter 29. In the 10th year, in the 10th month, on the 12th day, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, send your faces against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and prophesy against him and against all Egypt. Speak to him and say, This is what the sovereign Lord says, I am against you, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, you great monster lying among your streams. You say, the Nile belongs to me. I made it for myself, but I will put hooks in your jaws, and make the pieces of your streams stick to your scales. I'll pull you out from among your streamlet, with all the pieces sticking to your scales. I'll leave you in the desert, you and all the pieces of your streams. You will fall on the open field and not be gathered or picked up. I'll give you as food to the beasts of the earth and the birds of the sky. Then all who live in Egypt will know that I am the Lord. You have been a step of lead for the people of Israel. When they grasped you with their hands, you splintered and you tore open their shoulders when they landed on you. You broke and their backs were wrenched. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says, I'll bring a sword against you and kill both man and beast. Egypt will become a desolate wasteland, then they will know that I am the Lord. Because you said, the Nile is mine. I made it, therefore I am against you and against your streams. And I'll make the land of Egypt a ruin and a desolate waste from Migdol to Aswan, as far as the border of Pussy. The foot of neither man nor beast will pass through it. No one will live there for 40 years. I'll make the land of Egypt desolate among devastated land, and her cities will lie desolate 40 years among ruined cities. And I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries. Yet this is what the sovereign Lord says, at the end of 40 years I will gather the Egyptians from the nations where they were scattered. I'll bring them back from captivity and return them to Upper Egypt, the land of their ancestors. There they will be a lowly kingdom. It will be the lowliest of kingdoms and will never again exalt itself over the other nations. I'll make it so weak that it will never again rule over the nations. It will no longer be a source of confidence for the people of Israel, but will be a reminder of their sin in turning to her for help. Then they will know that I am the sovereign Lord. Nebuchadnezzar's reward in the 27th year, in the first month of the first day, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, drove his army in a hard campaign against Tyre. Every head was lobbed bare, and every shoulder made low. Yet he and his army got no reward from the campaign he led against Tyre. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says: I am going to give Egypt to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and that he will carry off its wealth. He will loot and plunder the land as a pay for his army. I've given him Egypt as a reward for his efforts, because he and his army did it for me, declares the sovereign Lord. On that day I'll make a horn grown for the Israelites, and I'll open your mouth among them. Then they will know that I am the Lord. A lament of Egypt, chapter 30. The word of the Lord came to me, son of man, prophesy, and this is what the sovereign Lord says. Well and say, alas for that day, for the day is near, the day of the Lord is near, a day of clouds, a time of doom for the nations. A sword will come against Egypt, and again anguish will come upon Cush when the slain fell in Egypt. Her wealth will be carried away, and her foundations torn down. Cush and Lydia and all Arabia, Cub and people of the sub-covenant land will fall by the sword along with Egypt. This is what the Lord says: the lies of Egypt will fall, and her proud strength will fail. From Migdol to Aswan they will fall by the sword within her, declares the sovereign Lord. They will be desolate among desolate lands, and their cities will lie among ruined cities. Then they will know that I am the Lord, when I set fire to Egypt, and all her helpers are crushed. On that day messengers will go out from me in ships, to frighten Cush out of her complacency. Anguish will take hold of them on the day of Egypt's doom, for it is sure to come. This is what the sovereign Lord says: I'll put an end to the horrors of Egypt by the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. He and his army, the most ruthless of nations, will be brought into the destroyed land. They will draw their swords against Egypt and fill the land with the slain. I'll dry up the waters of the Nile and sell the land to unable nations. By the hand of foreigners I will lays waste the land and everything in it. I, the Lord, have spoken. This is what the sovereign Lord says: I will destroy the idols and put an end to the images in Memphis. No longer will there be a princess in Egypt, and I will spread fear throughout the land. I will lay waste upon Egypt, set fire to Zoan, and inflict punishment on Tebas. I will pour out on my wrath on Pelusium and the stronghold of Egypt, and wipe out the hordes of Tebas. I will set fire to Egypt. Pelusium will lead to in agony. Tebas will be taken by storm. Memphis will be in constant distress. The young men of Heliopolis and Bubastis will fall by the sword, and the cities themselves will go into captivity. That will be the day at Tabans. When I break the yoke of Egypt, there her proud strength will come to an end. She will be covered with clouds, and the village will go into captivity. So I'll inflict punishment on Egypt, and they will know that I am the Lord. Pharaoh's arms are broken. In the even years, in the first month on the seventh day, the word of the Lord came to me: Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. It has not been bound up to be healed, or put in a splint, so that it may become strong enough to hold a sword. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says: I am against Pharaoh's king of Egypt. I'll break both his arms, the good arm as well as the broken one, and make the sword fall from his hand. I'll disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries. I'll strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon and put my sword in his hand. But I'll break the arms of Pharaoh, and he will groan before him like a mortally wounded man. I'll strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon, but the arms of Pharaoh will fall limp. Then they will know that I am the Lord when I put my sword into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he brandishes it against Egypt. I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries. Then they will know that I am the Lord. Pharaoh as a palled cedar of Lebanon. Chapter 31. In the 11th year, in the third month, on the first day, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, say to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his holders, who can be compared with you in majesty? Consider Assyria once a cedar in Lebanon, with beautiful branches overshadowing the forest. It towered on high, its top above the thick foliage. The waters nourished it, deep spring made it grow tall. The streams flowed all around its base and sent their canals to all the trees of the field. So it towered higher than all the trees of the field. It both increased, and its branches grew long, spreading because of abundant waste. All the birds of the sky nested in its boughs. All the animals of the world gave birth under its branches. All the great nations lived in its shade. It was majesty in beauty with its spreading boughs, for its roots went down to abundant waters. The cedars in the garden of God could not rival it, nor could the junipers equal its boughs, nor could the plane trees compare with its branches. No trees in the garden of God could match its beauty. I made it beautiful with abundant branches, the envy of all the trees of Eden in the garden of God. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says, because the great cedar towers over the thick forest, and because it was proud of its height, I gave it into the hands of the ruler of the nations, for him to deal with according to its wickedness. I cast it aside, and the most ruthless of foreign nations cut it down and left it. Its boughs fell on the mountains and in all the valleys. Its branches lay broken in all the ravines of the land. All the nations of the earth came out from under its shade and left it. All the birds settled on the fallen trees, and all the wild animals lived among its branches. Therefore, no other trees by the waters are ever to tower proudly on high, lifting their tops above the thick foliage. No other trees so well watered are able to reach such a height. They are all destined for death. For the earth below among mortals who go down to the Lamb of the dead. This is what the sovereign Lord says. On the day it was brought down to the Lamb of the dead, covered the deep springs with mourning for it. I held back its streams, as its abundant waters were restrained. Because of it, I clothed Lebanon with gloom, and all the trees of the field withered away. I made the nations tremble at the sound of its pearl when I brought it down to the Lamb of the dead to be with those who go down to the pit. Then all the trees of Eden, the choicest and best of Lebanon, the well-watered trees, were consoled in the earth below. They too, like the great cedar, had gone down to the Lamb of the dead, to those killed by the sword, along with the armed men who lived in its shade among nations. Which of the trees of Eden can be compared with you in splendor and majesty? And you too will be brought down with the trees of Eden to the earth below. You will lie among the uncircumcised with those killed by the sword. This is Pharaoh and all his holders, declares the sovereign Lord. A lament over Pharaoh, chapter 32. In the 12th year, in the 12th month, on the first day, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, take up a lament concerning Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and say to him, You are like a lion among the nations, you are like a monster in the seas, threshing about in your streams, churning the water with your feet, and muddying the streams. This is what the sovereign Lord says, with a great troop of people I will cast my net over you, and they will haul you up in my net. I will throw you on the land, and hurl you on the open field. I'll let all the birds of the sky settle on you, and all the animals of the wild gorge themselves on you. I'll spread you flat on the mountains, and fill the valleys with your remains. I will drench the land with your flowing blood all the way to the mountains, and the ravines will be filled with your flesh. When I snuff you out, I'll cover the heavens and darken their stars. I'll cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon will not give its light. All the shining light are in the heavens I will darken over you. I'll bring darkness over your hand, declares the sovereign Lord. I'll trouble the hearts of many peoples when I bring about your destruction among the nations. Among lands you have not known, I'll cause many peoples to be appalled and you, and their kings will shudder with horror because of you. When I brandish my sword before them on the day of your downfall, each of them will tremble every moment of his wrath. So this is what the sovereign Lord says, the word of the king of Babylon will come against you. I'll cause your halls to fall by the sword of mighty men, the most ruthless of all nations. They will shatter the pride of Egypt, and all her hordes will be overthrown. I will destroy all her cattle from beside abundant waters, no longer to be swallowed by the food of men, or muddled by the hooves of cattle. Then I will let her waters settle and make her streams flow like oil, declares the sovereign Lord. When I make Egypt desolate and strip the land of everything in it, when I strike down all who live there, then they will know I am the Lord. This is the lament that will chant for her. The daughters of the nations will chant it for Egypt, and all her hordes they will chant it, declares the sovereign Lord. Egypt's descent into the Lamb to the dead. In the 12th years, on the 5th days of the month, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, wherefore the horses of Egypt, and consign to the earth below both her and the daughters of mighty nations, along with those who go down to the pit. Say to them, Are you more favored than others? Go down and be laid among the uncircumcised. They will fall among those killed by the sword. The sword is drawn, let her be dragged off with all her hordes from within the realm of the dead. The mighty leaders will say of it and her allies, They have come down, and they lie with the circumcised, with those killed by the sword. Assyria is there with her whole army. She is surrounded by the graves of all her slain, all who have fallen by the sword. Their graves are in the depths of the pit, and her army lies around her graves. All who had spread terror in the land of the living are slain, fallen by the sword. Elam is there with all her borders around her grove. All of them are slain, fallen by the sword. All who had spread terror in the land of the living went down uncircumcised to the earth below. They bear their shame with those who go down to the pit. A bed is made for her among the slain, with all her borders along her grave. All of them are uncircumcised, are killed by the sword. Those orders around her grave, all of them are uncircumcised, killed by the sword, because their terror has spread in the land of the living. They bear their shame with those who go down to the pit. They are laid among the slain. Meshach and Tubal there with all their holders around their graves. All of them are uncircumcised, killed by the sword, because they spread their terror in the land of the living. But they do not lie with the Palan warriors of world, who went down to the realm of the dead with their weapons of war, their sword placed on their heads and their shield resting on their bones. Though these warriors also had terrorized the land of the living. You too, Pharaoh, will be broken and will lie among the uncircumcised with those who are killed by the sword. Edom is there, her kings and all her princes, despite their power, they are laid with those killed by the sword. They lie with the uncircumcised, with those who go down to the pit. All the princes of the north and all the Sidonians are theirs. They went down with the slain, disgrace, despise the terror caused by the power. They lie uncircumcised with those killed by the sword and bear their shame with those who go down to the pit. Pharaoh, he and all his army will see them, and he will be concerned for all his hordes that were killed by the sword, declares the sovereign Lord. Although I had him spread terror in the land of the living, Pharaoh and all his holders will be laid among the uncircumcised with those killed by the sword, declares the sovereign Lord. Amen.